Hey y'all, my name is Ann Wyatt. I started my career in workforce development with the state of Kentucky in 2010. That experience ignited a deep passion for manufacturing within me. I started this show hoping to raise more awareness around the bright outlook manufacturing careers have. Join me as I sit down with some of the manufacturing industry's most successful changemakers and learn how they're partnering people with technology. It's time to give people more meaningful work. This is Workforce 4.0. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Workforce 4.0. This is your host, Ann Wyatt. I am so excited and joyous to share with you all today that our guest for this very special bonus episode is in fact Phoenix Wyatt. Phoenix, hey, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, and I'm good. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So Phoenix, for those of you that are listening in today on this special episode, this is my kiddo, Phoenix. He is my son. But Phoenix, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about yourself in your own words?
Okay, so my name's Phoenix Wyatt, like in the intro. And what?
Go ahead. You're doing great. Go.
I really like playing with my friends outside. And sometimes I go over to their houses. My best friend's name is Joshua. Sadly, he's moving back to Texas, so
We'll miss Joshua.
we will.
Yeah.
He's nice.
Where are you located here today, Phoenix? Tell us a little bit more about your background there. What you got going on?
I'm in my playroom. I have my own cow
Mm-hmm.
and some neon lights. There's one that's a King Boo mushroom from Super Mario and a star from Super Mario.
Yeah, that's sick.
They're
I like
all
that.
basically Super Mario.
Yeah, you've got neon lights. It's amazing. I've got a neon light.
And it says Girl Lost.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I kind of like it.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. All right. So Phoenix and we just recently went up to Franklin, Tennessee to see the Horn facility, didn't we, Phoenix?
Yeah, you did.
And Phoenix, like, tell everybody how old you are.
I'm 8, and I'm pretty tall for an 8-year-old. I'm like a couple inches away from 5 feet.
Yeah, you are. That's true. And you're going into what grade this year?
Third.
And what school do you go to?
My school? Yeah. I go to Madison City. I used to go to Horizon.
Yeah.
So, also, I got a friend at Madison Elementary. If he's watching, shout out to him. His name is Noah.
Shout out to the chat. So for those of you that have little kids at home, like a lot of us do in this industry, we're gonna have fun today. This is gonna be very much on their level. So all of the push subscribe now, follow for more stuff that I hate. Phoenix loves that. And Phoenix has been asking me to do a podcast episode for a long time, but I've probably been podcasting, Phoenix, don't you think, since you were young?
Probably back in Kentucky or something.
No, I wasn't podcasting in Kentucky, but do you remember when I first started podcasting?
Do you remember
that at all?
I think it was 2020.
2020. I started doing a lot of stuff in 2020. Yeah. So you were still very young at that time, but yeah, Phoenix has said for a long time, I want a YouTube channel, I want to podcast and all this. But Phoenix, what has always been my response as your mother and as a content creator?
Yes, but you have to pick what, and you can't pick anything else. That's what you say.
You got to have a topic, right?
Yeah. And that you can only do.
Focus area.
I think I want to do art. I'm not sure yet, but I'm good at drawing stuff. Sometimes I draw Dragon Ball characters in my sketchbook.
Yeah.
That I got from school.
You do a good job. But because you are still thinking about what your target there is, I thought this would be a great opportunity for you to come on the podcast, since I have one, and share your experience of what you saw at Horn and what you learned for maybe some of your peers out there as well. So how's that sound? You want to do that?
Yeah, by the way, my favorite drawing in my sketchbook is General White from Dragon Ball.
Okay. It's a good one. So maybe you should start a Dragon Ball
podcast. I don't know. Jury's still out. But yeah, so this is my manufacturing show. So we're going to talk about manufacturing. I'm excited. Which, Phoenix, you do love manufacturing, but I try to have fun with you as much as possible. And I know, we've got our own little curated playlist of songs that you enjoy. But I've got to know, and we love karaoke in this house, but what is your go-to karaoke song? What is your favorite song? Like, tell us a little bit more about that.
I don't know any karaoke songs. Can I just say
That's blasphemous.
Hey, I don't know. I've listened to a lot of songs that I think are karaoke, but
they're
I
all
don't know.
You don't know. I don't know how to respond to that. Phoenix, you do know, though. You do know.
Can it be I'm Blue Dabba Dee Da Die?
Oh, yeah, some Eiffel 65. Phoenix is a huge Eiffel 65 fan. Maybe.
Oh.
You could probably do that as a karaoke song. What's your favorite song right now?
Right now? Still I'm Blue Dabba Dee Da Die.
Really? We've played that so much, though. What about what song I think about you a lot when it comes on?
Let me guess. The song called Sour Patch Kids or something?
Phoenix, that is your song.
No, it isn't.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know. You like to come home and play Sonic and watch some Rocco's Modern Living. You like all that stuff.
Yeah, I do like Sonic.
Yeah.
Guess how many Sonic stuff I played so far in my life?
We're not here to talk about Sonic.
About 50.
I'm sure.
Played arcade games.
Yeah. All the things. But you don't like that song by Bryce Vine? It's like your anthem, isn't it?
My still number one favorite song is I'm Blue Dabba Dee Da Die.
And you're dying on that hill. That's what you're going with.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
All right. Okay. Well, okay. So 65. Throwback. It's not even Thursday. So cool. Well, it was a lot of fun getting to take you to Horn up in Franklin, Tennessee a couple of weeks ago. That's something that I've really been looking forward to showing you more of my world that I work in and people that I interact with on a regular basis and all of that good stuff. And I've just been kind of waiting to share that with you. But let's talk about that. When you walked into Horn, what was your first impression? Because you are a little manufacturing legacy. Both of your parents work in manufacturing. You have been pretty well exposed to it. But what was your first take when you walked into Horn?
My first thought, it looked like it. I thought it looked like it was just for meetings. That's all it was.
Yeah.
But then I figured out it had. Because the front entrance was pretty, normal to a facility. Don't picture it like a warehouse type thing, dirty. It was, pretty nice. It had a lot of windows and a nice staircase and a little pad for you to sit next to two plants. By the way, if you didn't know, she loves plants.
I do like my house plants. Thank you very much.
So yeah, it was pretty nice. It had a TV and all the parts that they try and get. And they do it, and it's pretty cool.
Like the symposium of tools out in the lobby, I think you really liked. Yeah.
So, we got a little bag. Well, my mom had it already. I use it for going to the pool. Mm-hmm. It's a Horn PH bag. Why does it have two PHs?
That's Paul Horn. That's the founder of the company.
Yeah, two Paul Horns. Yeah, I know it's Paul Horn who made the company, but why is it Paul Horn? Why does it have two Paul Horns?
I don't know. It looks very balanced, though. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. Krista could probably answer that question for you, or Jeremiah.
Okay.
Yeah. So your first impression, though, of the plant was that you walked in and it looked like an office building. It didn't look like a warehouse or anything. I love how you said that too. That's pretty spot on description.
I was picturing the warehouse or something, but yeah, looks like it wasn't.
Yeah. There's a lot of photos that you see that you do get to see. They look like warehouses, yeah. Big buildings with open space and robot lines. Yeah, cool. Very cool. So I know that, I had to run up and do the podcast episode and everything, and you just kind of hung out. But then what happened, Phoenix? What happened after we came back downstairs and did our podcast recording. What did you get to see?
Some little things that, so it's like adding, you know how you 3D print, you add it, but this takes a block of metal and subtracts it.
So so did we meet Mr. Eddie?
Yeah.
And Mr. Eddie gave us a tour of the training center. And what was in that big room? Do you remember? We're going to get into additive.
Those machines.
Subtractive. Those machines. Do you remember what type of machines they were?
Those subtractive machines?
They're CNC machines. Yes. And they machine out a part using subtractive manufacturing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think when you walked into that room? You were pretty excited, I remember.
I thought that I could see one of those work, and I was like, and I did.
Yeah. You saw a video of one work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wanted to see the actual floor. Yeah. You're gonna have to be a little older. Sorry. I know. So coming back to that subtractive versus additive manufacturing, I know that you're a bit of an additive enthusiast yourself, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And I wish you had one of your fidgets there that you've made. You know, your stuff that you've made with your own 3D printer.
The only fidget I made was a gyro, and I gave it to my teacher, or Noah. I don't know which one.
That's cool. That's fun. So what did you think about additive versus subtractive manufacturing? Was that cool to you, or?
It was cool.
Do you have a preference for one or the other?
Can someone help me with I don't know what a preference means.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, bird. Do you have a favorite?
Oh,
style?
also, if my teacher's listening to this, shout out to my teacher. She's really nice. She's a nice teacher.
Nice. Yes. So, additive versus subtractive. Which one is your favorite?
I think additive better because, you start out with nothing. You don't have to carry stuff around. Just like a block of metal. I wouldn't want to carry that around.
You wouldn't want to carry a block of metal around, but we're going to have robots do that for you before too much longer. Aren't you excited?
No. Why? You know why? I think robots are going to take over the world. No offense, but sometimes I think that.
Sometimes you think that? Does that keep you up at night?
Kind of.
Yeah. I don't think robots are going to take over the world, Bird. I think you're good.
What about the Matrix? Or Doctor Who? Does that prove it?
Y'all listening to this kid, though. I think that we're a long way from anything that resembles anything like the Matrix. I don't think you'll probably see that in your lifetime. Does that help? You are so Skynet over there.
I'm literally telling you what it is.
And you just brick those things. You realize that, right?
Yeah. Kind of.
Whatever. Well, I'm a big robot supporter on this show.
Okay.
I'll have you know, I advocate a lot for supplementing the human workforce with robotics.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it's going to take any job that you're going to want because you're going to be too busy designing parts like you saw at Horn. So a lot of those folks work in the office and they design the parts and they do other things. They don't load the machine. They don't carry around blocks of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's exciting, right? Let's talk a little bit more about what you learned besides additive and subtractive manufacturing. Let's talk about other really entry-level things that I think you're really fortunate to learn now instead of having to learn maybe in high school or post-secondary education, which is like college or something, right? Let's talk about what else you learned. So what are some of the key things that you learned from that experience while you were there? What did Mr. Eddie teach you?
Key things that when it messes up and it coils, it can get really sharp and cut you. Mm-hmm. So if it doesn't work well and it flings out of that and it hits you in the face, it's gonna.
Mm-hmm. Did you learn about, one of the things that I think was really very observant of you when you walked in and you were looking at the machines, you asked immediately what that red button was.
It was the emergency button.
Called the e-stop button.
What's an e-stop? Just kidding. It's an emergency stop button, that stops the machine immediately if someone gets... Hey, look. Hey, if you get lucky, and if you get your clothes in there, long sleeve, like short sleeve clothes, you won't have your arm literally pulled off. So, if you're lucky. Only if you're lucky and you eat Lucky Charms. I know this video is not sponsored by Lucky Charms. I wish it was.
General Mills is not sponsoring this content at all or anytime soon. So but you make a really good point. And that was one of the things that I told you, I think, when we were going into the plant. Do you remember what I was saying to you before we went into the plants? What'd I tell you? I said, don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything.
You know, the very first thing that honestly I think we got to start teaching you all is safety, right?
Yep.
So the e-stop button is very important, and you learned all about safety and the risks associated with running a machine. That was definitely one thing that you learned from being there.
And what about, are we gonna talk about the little table with some parts?
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about it.
So they had this table with all with some replica parts. One was part of the metal part of the tire.
Well, the rim.
Yeah, the rim.
Mm-hmm. And they couldn't get the whole rim in the glass, so they have just the half the rim. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a quarter, I think. Looks like, yeah, it's a rim. Yeah, it's half. It's shiny.
It's shiny because it's made out of metal.
They also had replica human. You know when if you break a knee or something, like if it comes out or something, if you can't get a cast for it, they're gonna replace it with a metal part.
Like your kneecap?
Yeah. And your wrist.
And pins for your wrist if you break your wrist. Okay, so those are all machined parts. So the tools that they make at Horn, they sell to machining companies and machinists, and they make those parts. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's cool.
It's pretty cool. That's handy because when you're riding your BMX bike or skateboarding and you, God forbid, need a metal pin in your wrist, that's where that comes from. So what else did you learn? Did you get to see some tools? Did you get to learn how to use micrometers?
Yeah. They're small. Like? They're this small. You can't see it.
You can't see them, can you?
No.
So a piece of paper, how many micrometers, like a thin, like piece of paper, how many micrometers is that?
100. And that little, just that little piece of paper, that little tip is 100 of those.
It's crazy. But you have tools like micrometers, and that helps you read that, right?
Yeah.
And why is that important?
Because if it's slightly off, you can get the whole thing messed up, and you'll have to replace it. If it's on your car and it will just slightly just fit one little piece, then yeah, the oil will spill out or something.
Interesting. And what is that referred to? That's an engineering principle. What is that? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Yeah, remember that?
He didn't tell me.
Yeah, we talked about GD&T, tolerances specifically.
Okay.
You don't remember that? Learning about tolerances? Yeah. So, like, if you make a part, right, and you're mass producing a part, and you've got, like, schematics or blueprints or whatever you're following to the part, and, you've got to make the part the same way, right? And then you get the part, and it's not the same length or whatever, like you're saying, you put the part in, it's too big, it's not gonna work, right? If it's too small, it's not gonna work. So then you've got to scrap that part. You've got to basically like figure out, like, are you going to recycle that metal? Like, what are you going to do with that? And then you've got to source, like,
if it's a bit too big, you can fix it. If it's a bit too big, you can fix it.
I mean, maybe, but what if you machine a part in like Hamilton, Ohio, and then that part ends up in like Bowling Green, Kentucky? What are you going to do with that? You're going to ship it back? I mean, that is what you're going to do with that. You're going to ship it back, right? But like, does that help you in the here and now?
No.
And I think that's where like quality is really important too, right? We didn't talk about quality, but quality is a very important part of the manufacturing process.
So that's it. That's all I can talk about.
That's all you can talk about? If you, like, when you are graduating in 10 years, is that someplace that you would go work?
Sure.
Okay. So you would go work someplace like this, yeah? Pretty cool?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, closing thoughts, Phoenix. What are 3 more things that you'd have to say about your visit at Horn?
It was pretty good. And
Did you enjoy meeting the people? Were the people nice?
also, I kind of think some of the parts in this battle, I think they use some of the parts I think they create some of the parts in Battle Boss.
They might. I mean, Horn makes tools, so they don't create any of the customers might.
Then they can, if you want to, you can design them into Battle Boss parts. And I'm definitely doing that if I get one. And if I get the chance to go to Battle Bots, I will.
You will?
I will go.
I hope you do.
I'm kind of good at circuit boards and all that. I found a pair of little LED sunglasses. And they were kind of broken, and I decided to relocate the parts.
And so then what? What'd you do then?
I made some LED lights that came out. I got the LED lights that came out, and, made my lights. I gave them to Lynn and Sailor.
And you just made that? How did you know how to make that?
I guess.
You guessed.
I connected to the wires to one place and then another place. And about 2 hours later, I finally got it right. And then I did the same for the other one. So it took 4 hours.
Took 4 hours?
Yeah, just to relocate the parts into the right place.
Are you ever worried about getting electrocuted?
Yes. But this is news that we're having a new podcast episode that is about me and you.
How convenient. Well, Phoenix, this has been so fun. I enjoy having you on my show.
Thank you. Maybe we should go in the next season together. The next season?
Phoenix, I think you have your own personality, and it's way too big for my show. I think one day you're going to have your own show.
That's going to talk about Dragon Ball. And I'm going to invite you. You.
I don't think that I would be a good guest for your Dragon Ball Z show.
I don't know anybody else except for Jacob, one of my school friends. And yes, shout out to him too.
Hi, Jacob.
Because he likes Dragon Ball like me.
Wow. Oh, that's good. Okay.
So 3 shout outs.
3 shout outs. Dropping shout outs like rain, bro.
So if you're seeing this, Noah, Miss Sickler, and Jacob, and also Lucas, shout out to you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Phoenix. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun. I'm hoping that we can have some more fun like this in the future. Folks, if you are out there listening, thank you so much. This has been a fun little episode for us to do together, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.